Hello and welcome to week 6 and 7. So you're seeing here the check-in from week 6, sitting at £185 on weekly average. And I just want to apologise that I've been a bit slack in getting things uploaded. Just over these last 2 weeks we've had a couple of things happen. We were visited from the Beast of the East, which meant I couldn't get out of the village for 3 days. And then the following week I had a very high amount of workload and just didn't have time to edit up and put these videos together, because obviously it does take a little bit of time. As much as I do enjoy doing it, it does take time, and sometimes things have to just take priority. So the footage is all there for all these weeks. And week 8, because some people will be thinking, hang on, you should be like week 8, 9, 10. Technically, mini-cut is now over as I record this, and I'm technically kind of week 10 and going into a gaining phase. But this here is how my physique was sitting at week 6. Average calorie intake was 2,750 cal. I was a little bit above target, and that's very much just because food choices in the house, sitting around the house, I was just eating a little bit more, but I just didn't have exactly what I wanted to hand in terms of food, so just had to make do with what was there on 1 or 2 days. And also steps for that week were down, so my normal step target is 10,000, I was down to 7,500. But weight was still actually ticking off quite nicely, and looking back at these, I'm actually quite happy with where my physique was on this week. That week also saw me only train one lower and one upper, and then like a light full body session. So equally training was down as well. I think we're now going to go into what will be predominantly a full upper body session, one of my heavier upper body sessions, with bench press, seated dumbbell shoulder press, weighted dips, weighted chin ups, dumbbell seal row, and bicep curls. So there we go, 120. I think I moved this for a good 6 or 7. One thing I have found, obviously I did make the swap from training kind of with a higher volume, but I obviously swapped and I've stayed with the higher intensity, lower volume, because it meant I was able to hold on to strength, and I think 120 kilo bench for myself whilst dieting was very good. Nice spot there, nice spot. So very happy with that. But I did find that towards the kind of week 6, 7, that push strength was starting to kind of go down, especially on that main top set. I just didn't feel like I had the mechanics behind me to really drive load. But I normally deload probably about every 4th to 5th week. But because I changed my training protocol, and because things have been interrupted in terms of my training frequency because of weather conditions, I've kind of pushed on for longer. I've pushed on for like 6, 7 weeks. So I think there's just a lot of fatigue on the upper body, because a lot of the pulling movements and a lot of my lower body movements were still progressing very, very well. Do love tricep dips, one of my favourite movements. I love bringing those into a cycle, alternated with close grip bench press. There's something about a bodyweight dip, same as a weighted pull-up or chin-up. I really do like those movements. So, as we went into week 7, I did bring calories down to about 2,600 to where they were before. That week I had more and more workload, So steps were down still because I spent most of the time stood behind a laptop. And my average weight was 182.7 or 183.7. I don't know because I've taken really bad notes as doing this voiceover. So steps were down, activity was down, but weight was still coming off. So I was in like a really sweet spot in terms of week 7. We've got the seal row here. It's got to be one of my favourites. I look forward to putting in the barbell variation as I progress into a gaining phase. So I'm probably going to run both dumbbell and barbell variations of the seal row. I do find when it comes to rowing movements, when it comes to moving load, I'm in so much better position to use a chest supported version. I actually quite like the feel of cable rows if I'm doing kind of higher metabolic work, but if those reps are under 10, I just use too much momentum. And here we go, big crazy set of dumbbell curls. Just note that I don't really go for weight on these. It's a lot more down to the execution and using the bicep. Could I slap another 5 kilo each side? Yeah. Could I slap another 10 kilos each side and swing it and hip thrust up? Yeah, I could. But when it comes to biceps, if you're going to train them and let them do the work. They get more than enough heavy loading from weighted pull-ups, rows, pull-downs, etc. So that there's actually giving you a full view of like what a upper body session has looked like throughout that mini cut. And then this here is just massaging my ego. I think this is 42 kilos. The following week I did go up to 45s, which is therefore a Bulgarian split squat with over body weight in my hands. This is a movement that I've always, I think, wimped down on. And I have to admit, I have just really focused on it, driven it up, literally thought of it very much like a squat, and then just progressed on. So there we go, week 6 and 7. Tune in next week for week 8 to see the final of the mini cut.